someday come up to meet up these challenges that we as parents, as adults, who on our own volition left Africa, left Nigeria to come here, which is no fault of theirs. And then they are immediately confronted with the same problem. I believe it is unfair, it is not just, and as responsible fathers, we need to do everything that we can, even when it is too late for us, even when we feel that we are fighting a losing battle, that we stick out our necks, roll up our sleeves, and fight, at least for the sake of our children, so that the same intolerable situation that we've had to contend with, that they do not come up to meet them. Because if we don't, someday, I believe that some of them will get up and say, wait a minute, what have our parents done? I ask the same question, because the history of migration here in Belgium dates back long ago. But unfortunately, those who came before us didn't think it necessary to fight certain fights that needed to be fought, so that today the playing field would have been a little bit, softer for us, as it is in the UK. One single example, and then I will end up with an example. I'd like to illustrate some of these things with living examples. It is not acceptable that a teacher who trained in Africa cannot even find a job as a cleaner in a school where he or she is supposed to be teaching here in Europe. Or, let me even say, here in Belgium. Or a medical doctor trained in Africa or even in Afghanistan comes here. Such medical doctor cannot even work as auxiliary nurse in an hospital here without having to go back to school for at least 3 years to train before even working as auxiliary nurse, not even talking of a medical doctor. I mean, these are situations that I believe, and I'm sure you will agree with me, are intolerable. Now, it is even more intolerable when you consider that a few kilometers, down south to England, just crossing the North Sea, you meet up England. These things don't work that way, because it doesn't matter whether you trained as a medical doctor or as a teacher, you are admitted into your profession based on sitting and passing an entry examination, professional entry examination. Now, if it wasn't in the UK, you should work in Belgium. But then, the political will has got to be there for that to happen here. And it is exactly that political will that is conspicuously lacking. And that is why some of us have said, yes, we've got to get into the system, we've got to be part of it, at least to begin the process of making it happen. Now, make no mistake, my brothers. I am not standing here telling you that I have come into politics and I'm going into the European Parliament come 25th of May because I will be armed with a magic wand to get all our problems sorted. No, that's not what I'm telling you, because if I'm telling you that, I will be a big liar. Now, what I'm telling you is that as long as we do not start the process, as long as the fight has not started, the problem will persist. And it's got to start somewhere, and I have put myself up. I have put myself forward to be in the forefront of leading that fight. But you see, like your chairman said,
he's here.
Yes, like your chairman said, this is not a journey that an individual embarks on. It is not a single man's fight. It is a collective fight. And that is my core message here. I mean, borrowing from the words of the chairman, we all have got to rally together to make this process begin and begin efficiently. Now, let me spend the next 2 minutes and I will round up, because my food is actually getting cold as well. I will be specific on how you can rally around, how you can make this a collective fight. And it is simple, this is not rocket science. An unknown politician like myself needs, first and foremost, visibility.